while we see if we can find Biff somewhere in England and get him on to talk about the new Saxon record. Have Biff right now. I see the line is going to hold. We do have him. Okay, great. Let's go right to Biff, and then we'll get back to what I was just talking about in a second. But joining us right now, lead singer of Saxon, Biff Byford. Biff, how are you, buddy?
Hey, it's good to be there. You all right, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I know you got this great new record out that I wanted to touch base with you on and talk a little bit about, Hellfire and Damnation. I don't know how you guys do it, man. You get older, but you still maintain all that energy and all that great classic metal. You show no signs of slowing down, man. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, we're like champagne, mate. You open the bottle and off we go. Yeah, it's been good writing this album. You know, the last album came out of the pandemic. This one, we got Brian Tackler in from Diamond Head, so he wrote a couple of songs with me. So, yeah, I mean, dynamically, it's been really good, this album. We had a great load of fun making it, and it's really powerful, you know. People love it.
You know, speaking of the lineup, you are the sole original member of Saxon. When you look back on the history of the band, which is 45 years or so now, I would think at this point, do you when you see all the lineup changes, the people who have come and gone, do you think that in some way has reinvigorated the band over the years, or would you have preferred if the lineup stayed more consistent the entire time?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, things changed. I mean, the first change was 1986. The second change was 1994. So we've been pretty stable till then. You know, our long-term friend Paul, retired sort of last year from touring and didn't want to play sort of, heavy metal anymore. He wanted to play blues music and chill a bit. So you got to go with people's decisions. But no, I think where we've been, over the last years, we've been in a good place for the last 10, 15 years. So I think it's all pretty much working out really great, When
he decided to leave, Paul Quinn, did you try to talk him out of it, or were you kind of cool with it and said, you got to do what you got to do?
Well, he's talked about it before, so I've talked him out of it a few times before, but this time he was really adamant, and we said, look, fair enough, you can stay in the band, you can, do some stuff for the album, but as far as touring, he doesn't want to tour anymore, he doesn't want to, take the long flights and sweat and, groove around stage and just generally getting fed up with the whole thing. So he wanted to retire and do his blues thing. So we said, yeah, fair enough, that's cool. We're still friends. And, if you want to jump up on stage with us anytime, then that's cool.
Did he contribute to the new album, Biff, in any way?
Well, he played a couple of solos. He didn't contribute to the writing because it just didn't work out. We weren't with him. We were on tour with doing festivals in Europe with Brian, and that's when we wrote and recorded the bulk of the album. So it just didn't work out. But he did a couple of songs. Yeah, he played guitar on a couple of songs.
When you talk about the grind of touring, and look, I hear this and I talk to artists every day, and they all land in a different place on it. But most artists who have been doing it 40, 50 years, there is a fatigue that sets in, and they'll tell you all the same thing. The hour and a half on stage, that's what they live for, but the other 22 and a half hours is what they dread. And it is like with Paul Quinn and others, it is the reason most of them cite for getting out of touring. But you're the front guy in the band. You're the singer in the band. I mean, that takes a lot on you as well. Everyone's getting older. Where do you land on that? How do you feel? Do you still enjoy the touring and the travel?
Yeah, I think it's great touring. I mean, you make an album like this one. Hellfire and Damnation is a great album, a bit magical album. This one, because Brian's involved with it. So yeah, we got to go on the road and promote it. That's our juice. That's our lifeblood. Write a new album, go on tour with it. So yeah, I'm pretty good. I mean, the traveling, it's not so bad once you land in the country. It's the flights that are pretty long. You know what I mean? And you're sort of, sitting in a little seat there for like 10, 15 hours, but it soon wears off, I mean, jet lag can be quite sort of exhausting, but, you have to remember once you're in the schedule and you're touring and, everything's pretty cool, everybody loves you being there, the fans are great, they've traveled a long ways, paid a lot of money to see you play live, so it's all part of the vibe and all part of the juice, really.
And what about as far as being the singer and the front man of the group? I mean, vocally, do you feel that I mean, judging from the record, your performance on the record sounds great. I've seen you live not that long ago. You still sound great. There's a lot of guys, as you know, Biff, when they get up around, the age you're at, give or take a few years, those cracks start to show. They seem to struggle. They don't, vocally, it's not what it once was. How have you been able to maintain? What's your regimen on that? And how do you feel? Do you feel differently? And do you have a different warm up or warm down? Or do you even do that to prep your voice?
No, I just sing. I'm very lucky, I mean, there's a few singers, I mean, Ronnie Dio was the same, We just get up and sing, we don't really do any exercises. I mean, if we get the sore throat, then, we have to sort of decide whether to do the show or cancel the show. That's the biggest decisions you have as a singer, because it's not like guitar strings, it's flesh and blood. So, but, you're monitoring it all the time, and you're sort of keeping an eye on your throat. But I don't do any exercising or special treatments to it, I just sing, really, and that's how that's how I live my life, really. Just do it.
It's amazing to me because I've asked that question for decades to so many different singers, and it's amazing, Biff, because they all have a different answer. I know guys that will tell you that there's a 2-hour warm up, there's a 2-hour warm down. They scream into towels.
I've heard them in the dressing rooms on festivals. It's all right if they want to do that. If that works for them. That sort of, gets their voice warmed up. But pretty much with me, first song is my warm-up. And, I go for it.
Yeah, and you're right about Ronnie, because I was very close with Ronnie, and there were many times I would sit in the dressing room, and I'll never forget one time I said to him, it was about an hour till showtime, and I said, "Hey, let me let you go and get ready and get warmed up." And he said, "What do you mean warmed up?" And I said, "Well, whatever you got to do to go." He was doing Sabbath at the time. I said, "Well, just so you can get ready. I'm sure you got some." He goes, "No," and he just walked out and sang Neon Nights, and that was it. I was like, "Okay," and he's one of the great singers of all time. So it's just everybody's got their process of what works for them.
If you need to warm your voice up, then that's fine. It's an instrument when all's said and done, but I've never really bothered, with that, all that. I don't really get too paranoid about my voice. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's in the lap of the gods, really. But, I have a really powerful voice. It's still powerful. So I just, we'll just do the shows wherever it's working. Don't fix it. That's what I'll say,